January is kind of a slow month for movies, so let's check back in on Percy Jackson on Disney Plus and see how well it's held up after its strong start. All that and more coming up next. Hi, I'm Mateo Rivera, the Cinematic Catholic, and this past week, my wife and I caught up on the last 4 episodes of Percy Jackson and the Olympians. With only 2 episodes to go, and the last episode 6 ending on the perfect cliffhanger, I figured it'd be a good time to check in before the finale. And I'll get straight into it. This show has proven itself to be one of the best family shows on television right now, which is very exciting, especially if you are a fan of this franchise. What I really like about this series is just how true it stays to the spirit of the books, which I think is really important. More so, this is just like very much family entertainment, which I think is really, really great. There's such a purity to it and just like to the universe, even when they're dealing with some more dramatic themes like Percy just wanting to have a relationship with his father, Poseidon. But there's not a lot of like real world influence put into this, and I'm not sure if that was a conscious decision or not, but it's just so refreshing to have true escapism. I'll give you an example of what I mean, right? Like, this is how like hardwired we are as a society. There's a scene in episode 3 or 4 where the kids escape on a train and they have a run-in with the police, and it gets a little confrontational. And when this scene was playing out, I just kept thinking like, all right, where's the one-liner? Where's the commentary on cops in America today? Where's the jab? And no, that didn't happen. The cops are just genuinely concerned because these kids are traveling without their parents. And then there was like a broken window, but that's like a whole other thing. And look, don't get me wrong, okay? I think that media can be a very good and powerful tool for spreading a message. If you guys have seen these videos, you guys know I love to dissect the deeper meaning of movies. And if you guys want a really great movie that's a commentary on the state of police in America today, then I highly and strongly recommend The Hate U Give. Maybe I should have reviewed that today. But there's also something really nice about a show just being a show. Family entertainment just being family entertainment. And like I said, just that true escapism for the 40 minutes that it's on, just enjoying that fantasy and fun. Getting a little bit into light spoilers just because when you talk about a whole series, of course, you're going to touch on some plot points. Percy and Annabeth's relationship is interesting. Throughout the book series, it's pretty clear that they have romantic feelings for each other, even when there's tension between them. There's been a couple of times in the show where they've kind of hinted at that or dropped a line here or there, and I gotta say, I don't really buy it, which is very interesting because I've seen interviews with the cast, and these two actors seem to have like genuine chemistry with each other off set. Plus, in the later seasons, as the kids themselves grow as human beings and as actors, I think that they'll be able to flesh that out a little bit more, but just at this current state right now, it feels a little bit forced. Speaking of forced performances, Lin-Manuel Miranda's in this, which, okay, can Lin-Manuel Miranda and Awkwafina just like stop being in everything? That would be great. But no, this is probably like the best performance I've seen from him in his career, like pretty much ever, because for once he's being like an actual human being, not like a caricature. Which, by the way, I'm sorry to go on this Lin-Manuel Miranda rant here, but have you guys noticed that he only has one rap flow? Since he was on How I Met Your Mother in 2013, he has rapped in one singular cadence.
Ask any man on the planet and watch his stammer and stamina as they clamor and cram it into the middle of a sentence. I probably shouldn't brag, but dag, I amaze and astonish. The problem is I got a lot of brains but no polish. What's the lesson? What is the takeaway? Don't mess with Maui when he's on a breakaway. And the tapestry here in my skin.
I am Usnavi, and you probably never heard my name. Reports of my fame are greatly exaggerated.
It's the same thing every time. Every time. And everyone thinks that Hamilton is just so great. Epic Rap Battles of History was doing that for a decade before him, and arguably a whole lot better. And now this guy just gets to walk in and work on any Disney project he wants, and the ones that he's not in, we gotta deal with the Aflac duck.
Remember my song in the swamp when I was like, wah, 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 wah.
Aflac! Okay, breathe, Mateo, breathe. This is a Catholic channel. This is a Catholic channel. God loves all of his children, even if they're Lin-Manuel Miranda. And then as far as morals that can be taken from the show, I think that this series does a really awesome job at showcasing selflessness. Percy is always so quick and willing to risk his life for his friends and for the good of the quest to save the world. He's not doing it for glory or fame or to be in favor with the gods. He's doing this to save his mother, to try and get an explanation from his dad Poseidon on why he wasn't a part of his life, and to save the world from a war between Zeus and Poseidon. And this is very different from the motives of the demigods that have come before him, and certainly different from the gods themselves, which this show does a very good job at showing how messy the Greek gods were, while again at the same time keeping it family friendly, of course. But Percy's motives and attitude seem to have an effect on every person that they come into contact with, both those that have helped them and those that are trying to hunt them down. Which, by the way, the Medusa episode in this was done very well and way better than the scene in the movies. So we've got 2 episodes left, which clocking at around an hour and 20 minutes of show remaining, basically an entire movie. And the show has been very solid up to this point, so I'm really excited to see how they wrap it up in the finale. And then I'll be back here to give my rating and final thoughts on the show. But if you're currently watching Percy Jackson, I would love to hear from you in the comments down below. How are you enjoying it? And especially if you've read the books, how do you feel that it holds up? And if you're not watching it, then say a prayer for Lin-Manuel Miranda, all right? All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Once again, my name is Mateo Rivera, and until next time, hasta la vista.